This holy city, having the glory of God, was like a translucent crystal permeated by the very substance of clearness and light. She alone was the aurora sending forth the splendors of the sun.
San Angelo was the first place in Texas where Christianity came. It was 80 years before San Antonio, you know where the missions are and everything?
Yes.
80 years before that, people were being baptized in the San Angelo area, the Humano Native Americans. Yeah. And that's what this story is about.
Sunshine Station's between the radio station. XER840AM, just across the border from
The biggest border blaster of them all.
Dr. Brinkley performed an operation in which tissue from the reproductive glands of a goat was implanted in the man.
Patient would select a goat with which he felt the most connection.
I want to tell you about Texas.
And you can never be made whole.
The medium is not something neutral. It does something to people.
I'll tell you about Texas radio and the Big B.
All of a sudden, out of the distance, see this little red light blinking like this. And as we got closer, you could see it was a radio tower. In AM radio, you got this RF stuff that drifts around. You don't see it, but it's there. And it's like you just got a package of good weed, you know, and you just did the whole damn thing.
And we operating tonight, Mama, at 250,000 watts of solar power.
What we're actually doing with the ionosphere is we're not just reflecting a signal, we're broadcasting that signature over a large area of the Earth. We are amplifying the signal. We are causing it to become much, much more intense, hundreds of thousands of times more intense.
An arrangement of 3 broadcasting towers provided a directionalized signal. It became the most powerful station in the world, as Brinkley boosted its output to 1 million watts.
Take a look at what it does to the picture in our camera. And if you place a fluorescent light and hold it next to the conduit...
Folks say that you did not even need a radio to listen to a border station. You could pick up the signal, for instance, on a barbed wire fence.
Picture these strings as layers of the ionosphere. Each one has its own frequency. And we might get a sound back like,
all energy is sex energy.
Driven by the sun, it is volatile and unpredictable.
We are surrounded and bombarded by millions of megawatts of natural energy.
It's just the beginning of rock and roll.
The ionosphere is the best medium available for aiding radio waves.
An explosive release of high-energy electrons into our atmosphere.
She, as the city of God, was inundated by the ecstatic torrents of the Supreme Being, overwhelming her with the impetuous waves of wisdom and grace, spiritualizing and impregnating her with the spirit of the divinity.
These lights only represent a tiny proportion of the energy being released. The flow of the solar wind creates a huge electric potential.
The Earth has a magnetic field. Humans actually generate a magnetic field too. And we can't draw the line between where our boundary stops and where the boundary of the non-living domain begins.
But it's pretty wild, and this would be very close to the location where Dama Azul appeared to the Hermano Apache people by sound waves and transcendental meditation. She never left Spain. I believe her body is still in the same church in Spain.
Sor Maria was at her convent in flesh and blood, and she bilocated in flesh and blood. She was in 2 places at the same time. She evangelized the natives and began to teach them Spanish to be able to communicate with the Franciscans, and told them to go to the missions to be baptized.
Yes, she paved the way for the eventual Christianization of the native peoples here.
Bendito sea tu pureza, Madre agreda de Jesús en ciudad.
Guys,
Unfortunately, I couldn't get in front of the two actual statues because crews are actually still working on it this morning. It was unveiled on Sunday, like Skylar and Ricky just said, but they're still actually doing quite a few finishing touches on the statue. But I actually am in front of where the statues are going to be and being placed along this beautiful Concho River. They were created to honor the lady in blue, Sister Maria de Jesus of Agreda, very popular lady back in the 1600s here in San Angelo. It's a story that actually belongs to San Angelo, and it dates back to the 1600s. Now, I don't know if you can actually see, but there actually are multiple statues already here along the Concho River. I'm going to turn my camera just a little bit so you can see. Look at that gorgeous mermaid sitting right there. Of course, a lot of very famous statues here in San Angelo. But
she told the Indians to go to New Mexico and find the monks. That they were supposed to come here and build a mission. So they took off. They went to New Mexico. The monks said, "How did you find us?" They said, "The Dama Azul told us to come and get you and bring you here to build a mission." So the monks, they were very intrigued. They could not imagine how the Indians would have this information on the Lady in Blue. They came here and they built this mission.
Putting up the statue early on Thursday, definitely a very, very crazy day had by all. A lot of people came together to make sure this statue was nice.
She visited over 500 times from the area that we know now as San Antonio up to Isla de New Mexico and back down.
Vuelve, a ti te toca comprender que fuiste infame.
It was an incredibly popular radio station. People never knew what they were going to hear next.
It was all live entertainment. You could go in there and sit in the studio and watch some of the best entertainment in the world. They didn't come in New York City or Los Angeles.
Brinkley was really the first guy to blast country music across the nation.
Its popularity boosted Brinkley's reputation. Although it directed its signal to the United States, its transmissions were not subject to the regulation of the American government.
When you make a music that is related to popular speech, it enables you to put on the whole audience, the public, as a mask and wear it as a mask of power.
The more you try to silence country music, the louder we're gonna sing it.
Soft-driven, slow and mad like some
If your Daddy Johnson was a foot long, yours is 6 inches long. And if yours was 6 inches, your son will be 3 inches. And the one with them won't even have a penis. We're sterilized. And the sperm counts are down 96%.
If you take some violent and irritating process, say like radio or TV, and start looking at how it works, what it's doing to you, and why it's doing it to you, you can get very enthralled and very excited.
You deposit energy in there, you're changing the medium.
When these changes are made, men change.
Tell me what the gas station bill is. I'm gonna wake y'all up. I ain't finna die for it. But I will take that gas station pill. I will take that gas station pill that been last 5 days. And I had like 3 girls naked in the bed and flatline like under the blood pressure. I ain't playing like that no more. I'm coming prepared. I'm talking about anything getting.
I don't want to do it.
Coming your way.
Can you imagine doing anything for 5 days?
Man, listen, I got high blood pressure. You got to do what you got to do, Face. You can't play games.
I got kidney failure, right?
Right.
And shit, I'm 24/7 flatline.
Yeah.
I don't even have the desire.
I don't know if that shit's safe for you. See, like how much drink did we sip in our life, man? How much drugs we did? You know, like we don't give a damn that we ate Timmy Chan.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. If you don't know already, I'm your host.
Wait a minute. As you all can tell right now, it's about to be a very fun episode today. He's not Malik Mingo. I'm Malik Mingo. This is my twin brother, Marcus Mingo. And the reason why he's joining us this morning is because we are celebrating National Sibling Day.
This resolution of the City of San Angelo, Texas, acknowledging the shared history with Agreda, Spain, and declaring the cities sister cities. Whereas Sor Maria de Jesus de Agreda, a cloistered nun in Agreda, Spain, is believed to have bilocated to what is now Texas, New Mexico, and Arizona.
November 23rd, 1936. 2 men, an ocean apart, each sat before a microphone, and both made recordings that changed music history. One was a cello prodigy who had performed for the Queen of Spain. The other played guitar and was a regular in the juke joints of the Mississippi Delta.
Pablo Casals had recorded 2 Bach cello suites. Robert Johnson had recorded 2 takes of 8 different songs.
Pablo Casals was one of the greatest musicians of all time.
in some ways the iconic classical recording of the 20th century.
Robert Johnson sold his soul to the devil in exchange for guitar-playing power.
They recorded in the Gunther Hotel, San Antonio, Texas.
These same demons have been possessing rock stars for the last 50 years.
Well, it's what inspired ZZ Top's LaGrange. Rumor spreading round in that Texas town.
Bro, what is this?
I'm ready.
This is a transition, dude.
Oh my God, you gonna kill some bitches. I will go 5 days straight throwing them. But listen, that's what I'm saying. So that's why I ain't scared to take a vaccine.
I need a timeout.
I understand what happened in the past. This is not just in the hospital. It ain't just white doctors. How often do you go to a doctor and it's white people? It ain't white people. It's all kind of people. It ain't just, it's a lot. You lying to see a lot of Africans in the hospital or foreigners who barely speak English, who really doctors now. So, you know, that make me feel a little more trustworthy in our medical, you know what I'm saying?
Eres un canalla, eres un malvado, eres un mal hombre.
It grew in the underbelly of society in Mexican border towns. It's in the music that the history and myths of the borderlands survive.
The programming stretched boundaries in quite a lot of ways.
My dad, of course,
he was an orchestra leader, music guy all the way around, right?
Oh yeah, we had music from all sides.
Music is very much part of his deception. Sold his soul to Clarksville, Mississippi, in exchange for guitar-playing ability. Evil influence over the millions of fans
By sound waves and transcendental meditation. It all plays in that serious role of influence.
I see people just totally having a wonderful time and able to release all their inhibitions and just be able to yell, go, ow, you know what I mean? That to me is the greatest gift you can give somebody.
That was the glue that bound all through Texas with these stations. Bring all of these influences in, you bring them into this strange place called Texas, and it does something peculiar and yet very identifiable.
You don't always have to turn on your radio to feel those good vibrations, you know. No siree. Just look into your heart now and then, and they're gonna be there. Good night, everybody. And remember, the old wolf man loves you.